Welcome, Gemini and Gemini cross watchers, to your monthly love reading for May 2023. So thanks for stopping by my channel today. And of course, I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. We're going to look at the relationship situation, what you guys are thinking and feeling about each other and the relationship. Okay. And also actions or intentions towards each other. So we do have the Hierophant card reversed, and then we have the Sun with the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So the Hierophant card often talks about commitment, right? It just kind of feels like, I feel like somebody is expecting something of you, but they're not going to get what they expect. But it's almost like, I'm just going to make sure the deck is upright. It's almost like it's a little bit comical to you that they think they will. So we're going to do your person first. Gemini's person. Oh, okay. So we got the Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, and Two of Wands, all reversed. And the deck is upright. So hold on for a second. Listen, if it was upright, it would kind of have this energy of like they're just going to get to the bottom of something, right? But I actually feel like this person's actually, hold on for a second. I almost want to say that it's not me. It's like all of their cards are reversed, except for the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Oh yeah, they really are trying to pull you over, eh? I feel like this person's really trying to attract you into them, and it's almost like if they could, they'd try to bribe you. You know what I mean? Gemini, what's the Gemini's heart of this person? And actions or intentions. What you doing there, Gemini? So we have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. And then, interestingly enough, we have the Two of Pentacles, Five of Wands for what's in your head and heart. But your intentions or actions towards this person is the Empress. So let's get into it here. I feel like, Gemini, we're going to start with you. I feel like you could kind of go either way in this situation. It kind of feels like whatever is going on with this situation, it isn't something that you're looking for it to be long term, okay? It's almost like you're kind of seeing what will happen, or it's almost like you're seeing what this person may or may not do while you wait for your ship. And it's almost like it's this last little leg, it's this last kind of moment in time that you're going to be where you are. So it's like your heart isn't in it. It's almost like you just kind of don't want to waste the time and not have a lesson in the last little bit. Excuse me, I hope this is making sense. And I feel like you also know that this person could learn a thing or two from you. And it's like you kind of want your last moments on this, deserted island, if you will. Sorry, I just saw something in my eye. You almost want your last moments on this deserted island to I want to say, like, to not be boring. It's almost like this seems to make waiting for that ship to come in a lot easier for you, if that makes sense. And like, yikes, your person over here is just, they do not want to see the truth. So the Page of Swords to me as a reader usually talks about, the cold hard truth. And it's reversed along with the Ace of Swords, right? So whatever this person is, it's like they seem to not want to see that with you, they're not manifesting what they want. So it's like not only are they not willing to see the truth, but they're not willing to see that it's of their own making. It's almost the energy of you may have told this person outright that, you know, that you want this, and they told you that they want that, and it's like the energy of somebody that thinks they can convince you that you want something that you don't. And no, that's not going to work. However, I do want to say this Five of Wands as what's in your heart space is a little conflicting. It's a little peculiar, just to me as a reader, because I feel like on the one hand, you're really clear about not really wanting to kind of jump into anything. And it feels like, it's like you just want to be friggin' happy. I'm hearing like for once. And I feel like to a certain extent, you may have been offering this person a little bit of happiness. Not that like, oh, you're the only thing that can make them happy or anything, right? But it's kind of like you're saying like, hey, let's just enjoy each other for now, and we'll kind of, you know, and when it's over type deal. And I feel like that doesn't sound exactly right, but you know what I mean. They seem to want to put a lot of pressure on this. It's almost like this person is somebody that I feel like they kind of rush into relationships out of like this feeling of scarcity. It's almost the energy of somebody that like they're always concerned that they're going to be alone, they're not going to find anybody, and it's like as soon as somebody shows interest in them, it's like they kind of go a little bit, you know, they go a little bit nutsy poopsy with it, you know. And I'm not saying that in or the message in that phrase is not to be, you know, unkind. It just feels like in other aspects of their life, I feel like this kind of desperation isn't as much of an issue. I feel like the longer it goes unchecked in their romantic life, the more it bleeds into their, you know, daily sort of thing. But I feel like from what I'm seeing here, it's almost like you're about to see a different side of them if you haven't already. And it's almost like this person, I understand that maybe you're not, you know, feeling this person, but it just kind of feels like they would do anything, say anything, be anything to have you, to be with you. If ever you've seen that show Vikings, spoiler alert, I'll give it a few seconds so you can pause it or fast forward. When not Halfdan, what was his brother's name? But anyway, so there's this king there that or not a king, but there's somebody who wants to marry this person, and that person says, well, I'll marry you if you become a king. And so this person spends a good chunk of their life trying to become a king. And then they get there and they realize that actually that pursuit has precluded them. It's like that person never had any intention of marrying them in the first place. So it's almost like this person, they seem to be too laser focused on getting what it is that they want. It feels like they're trying to control it. And it's like, and in that, they're not making space for it to come in. They're trying to like cram a square peg through a round hole type deal. And it's almost this energy of like, the tower's not going to fall, the tower's not going to fall, the tower's not going to fall, the tower's not going to fall. And like, it feels like this person isn't going to let the tower fall, or at least that's kind of the narrative in their mind. They're not going to let it fall because they'll do anything. And it just kind of feels like it's almost like you would rather dive into the water and swim out to the boat than stay here and wait with them for the boat to come in. That's the energy that I'm picking up from you. You know, there's just something about it that it's very off-putting for you. It does, but there's this kind of like inner conflict here. It's almost like you're wondering if you should kind of stick around and show this person that there's a different way to live. You know what I mean? That they don't have to live in that place of like scarcity and lack. And I feel like to a certain extent you may try to kind of extend that energy to them. It just feels like it's feeding the wrong. It's like your intention may be in a certain type of way, but it is coming off like they're interpreting it all wrong. All wrong. Because I feel like they're looking at it like, oh, Gemini must be putting on a show for me. It's almost like they think that whatever they're bribing you with, it's working. It's clearly not. You can't be bought. But this person thinks that you can. And it's almost like they seem to be, ooh, I don't like that. They seem to be like that possessive, demanding. It's almost the energy of somebody that they want to own you. They want to possess you. It's not a like love, honor, and cherish sort of energy. It's they want you to belong to them. They want ownership over you. And it's almost like the second they have it, they'd be sick of you. I feel like to a certain extent this person doesn't know what they want. And I feel like they may have some wealth or it feels like this person has something that they can offer people that often gets them what they want. But you seem impervious to it, and it's like the more that you're able to resist them, the more they want you, the more they want to kind of conquer you, the more they are attracted to you, because it's almost like, you know, the quintessential forbidden fruit, if you will. So, I think we're going to pull one more card just to kind of see, like, what's the backstory here for this person? Oh. So we got the Hanging Man at the bottom of the deck, and then the Three of Wands here. So it's almost like this person may think that you're the person. They'll like, maybe they feel that they've been guided to you specifically, or it's like, or they've had, maybe they have or haven't had a reading, right? But it just feels like to them that it's fated. And it's almost like, just because it's fated doesn't mean that it can't be sabotaged, right? And it's like, and they're the ones that are sabotaging it. It's almost this energy of like, if they didn't sabotage it and they were just their normal actual self, instead of this kind of like the self that they are in every other area of their life, rather than this person that has this kind of like possessive, desperate energy, I actually feel like you would want to say, or you would want to come back, right? But there's something that's so off-putting about it that it's almost like to them, you're the exact person they've been waiting for. But to you, it's almost like you kind of can't wait to get off this island. So, I feel like there's a message here that this Empress energy, that your intentions towards them, you may be sending the wrong message. I'm going to be honest. And I feel like the longer you send that message, the more obsessed with you they become. And it's not to say that it's your fault that someone is doing that, okay? Of course it's not. It's just kind of like a heads up that what you feel is going to be a blessing to this person, it feels to them that you're telling, like with your actions and your energy, to them it feels like you're telling them that you love them. that you're all about them, that you want them, that even if you kind of say like, you know what, I don't want this, that your energy is telling them something different. So I think we're going to pull an advice card. Actually, we're going to pull one more on your person here. I'm just going to make sure the deck's where it is. We have one more for Gemini's person. So we have the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck, and then the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups usually talks about feeling like left out, feeling almost disinterested, or that someone is not interested in you. And I feel like if you're able to maintain a certain distance from this person, it's like you can still be the loving energy that you want to be, but there's a certain disconnect that needs to happen between the two of you. And it's almost like it actually helps this person see it for themselves. And it's like, if I didn't think it would be too loud for the microphone, I would stand up and clap. Because I feel like whatever it is that you wanted to teach this person about not having that desperate energy, you do teach it to them. It just feels like it might be not quite in the way that it's like the way the lesson is delivered, or the way that information for them to interpret that lesson is delivered, it's not exactly how you thought it would be. It's one of those things where it's like you're planning to make dinner, and it's almost like as you're pulling out the pots and pans to do what you need to do, the doorbell rings and dinner's here. It's that kind of an energy, because I feel like they see the writing on the wall, and it's almost like they do seem to fall into a bit of a dark place for a bit. It doesn't feel like they stay there. And I feel like the reason they don't stay there is actually in part to what you've taught them here. But it feels like that's when they realize what they've been doing all this time. That's when they realize the desperation and that sort of thing that they've been, that like it's been, emitting off of them. And it's almost this moment where they're like, oh. And it's almost like they're a little bit grossed out by their own behavior. Not because they think they themselves are gross. They don't see themselves that way. I feel that it's more that it's not that they're ashamed of what they've done. It's like they just kind of don't want to think about it. You know what I mean? It's almost like they get the lesson. They don't need to keep looking at the same mistake over and over again. And I feel like this person, obviously it's not going to feel very good when it happens. And I feel like there is still some possessive energy there. It does feel like it kind of morphs into almost like half protective, half possessive, if that makes sense. So like, and that's not to say, like, it's pretty clear that this isn't somebody that you want to be with in the long term. But I feel like there's this message here that they kind of learn whatever lesson they need to learn. But it's like they're still in transition, right? So it's not like you wake up one day and you're, perfectly well adjusted, right? Anybody. So I feel like the message here is it's almost like keep doing what you're doing. But it's almost like you may feel like you're going to have to do a whole bunch of things, but it's like compared to what you thought it was going to be, it's just a drop in the bucket. So I think I'll leave it there, Gemini. If this reading resonated, I hope that it was helpful and brought you some clarity. If you're new here, welcome. I usually upload mini weekly love readings on Sundays, and then usually longer love reads for all 12 signs on Thursdays. If you'd like a private reading with me, I'm making my way through responding to everybody. Thank you so much if you've reached out. And there is a few weeks of a lead time right now for those. But if you'd like to email me, please feel free to do so, and we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.